Welcome to Reimagine Models and part 2 of Damnation Alley. We need to remove the paint so we can move on to other steps of this custom. I use a product called Citrus Strip, a stripping gel. I like this product as it does not have a strong odor and is safe to use indoors. The most common form of this product is the spray can, but I found this at Walmart in a bottle form. The spray can can be quite messy, and now I have full control with the application of the gel. Here is a quick time lapse of the stripping gel in action. Well, this is about as fun as watching paint being removed, so let's move on to the next step. As I take these steps, my mind is always wandering and thinking about just how I will complete a custom. As I begin to remove the paint, I think about the windows. Do I want to simply add the glass back? This will be an apocalyptic world this vehicle will be in. Would they have so many windows? I think not, so I will have to come up with an alternative idea for them. I am using a plastic brush, but a brass one is more suitable for this step. I just couldn't locate mine. A trip to Dollar Tree can fix that. Well, a $1.25 tree, I mean. A steel brush would leave scratch marks on the casting, so avoid that one in the set of 3 that you will find there. For the paint left in the creases in the window frames and panel lines, a dental pick will be your best friend. They can even be used to scribe the panel lines to add greater detail to them. If you still have paint left over, you can always reapply the gel to help loosen the paint in those tougher areas. Then just apply the same methods with a toothbrush and a brass brush. You can also use steel wool, but I like to avoid that step so I can have a rough surface for my primer. All the paint is removed and we are ready for the fun parts of this custom. At this point, I know I want a diaphragm, but at this point I have no idea how I'm going to do it. It's how I work while doing my customs. Ideas will come to me while doing various steps. I'm going back and forth on do I add it or not. It looks good without it, but then I say no, it will look really cool with it, so I'm going to add it. Here is a stage in the custom that I later removed. I wanted to show you my creative process while making a custom. I felt that this was needed to even out the 2 halves, but I decided to remove it later in the build as it just did not fit for what I came up with for the diaphragm. You can see what I was trying to do by adding more material to even out the casting on either side. To give our occupants better protection, we will close most of the windows. I want to add louvers to these windows like this vehicle from a movie called Stripes. Actually, as I think about this custom, it's a cross between the vehicles from Stripes, Damnation Alley, and a TV series called Art 2. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. I used a combination of thick instant glue and accelerator to attach them to the casting. I just started using the accelerator recently, and it's a must-have in any build. It makes life much easier to be able to instantly set the glue. I'm testing out using small plastic rods to add those louvers, but I'm not looking forward to this part of the custom. I may look for a better alternative and a much easier part to this stage. I definitely want to add more detail to them, and I will figure out something and we'll do this part later. I only need a small part of the interior glass. To advance further in this custom, I need to know how this will fit with the scratch building I intend to do. The jeweler's saw again is the tool for this job. Here is an attempt at making that diaphragm. This idea seemed at the time to be a good one, but it caused problems for the fit and just did not look right. Eventually I gave up and removed it and went on to think of another way to do it. I know this looks strange, and just what am I doing here? Just wait and you will see. While this gets the pieces to fit perfectly without endlessly trying to cut out those perfect pieces to match the casting. All you do is cut the pieces to size using a pair of sprue clippers and sand them to fit. It's an effective way to get what you want done quickly and precisely the way you wanted it, without any headaches doing it. I'm always keeping parts that I know will look good and will have a use down the road. Using some 1/25th scale tire rims for added detail, I knew I had finally had my diaphragm. Before I could construct it, I needed to cut the wheelbase to size for either side, so I could test fit those pieces before gluing it in place. Before I installed the diaphragm, I wanted to tackle a pain in the ass part of this custom that I definitely wanted to add, as the reward would be worth the effort. It was too much of a pain and he has 2 films, so here is the finished result. A missile launcher for the rear roof is a must-have for any apocalyptic vehicle. With all the other parts to this casting cut to size, we can finally fit and glue the diaphragm. Using Tamiya Thin, we very easily glue this to the casting. I was quite pleased with the results of using these parts to create it. We have accomplished a lot with our custom so far, but we have a few more things to do before completing it. I'm thinking of going with a silver and black theme for the paint. I was going to change the wheels, but I kind of like these wheels that came with the casting, so I may keep them. These are some items from the parts box, otherwise known as Gimlis. I mean Greeblies. I'm looking for some interesting items to add some detail to the roof. These parts come from Warhammer 40k and will do nicely to add that detail I am after. While I was digging through those parts, I found this. Doesn't it look like a missile launcher? I think it does, and I know what you're saying. You spent all that time on the one on there. Well, yes, but I just like this one better. Let me know in the comment section which one you like better. I will be using all clad paints to give it a look that you would see on older airplanes like a B-29. The aluminum and black trim should look sharp, and I can't wait to get to paint. Thanks for watching part 2 of Damnation Alley, and I will see you on the next custom.